You are tuned into Community Chat, and these series of programs that you are going to be watching over the next few weeks are of the Candidates 2020 style, where we are taking time to speak with the folks who are running for local office. We have one group in particular that we're focusing on at the moment as you're watching these, speaking with folks who are running for selectmen. There are 5 candidates who are seeking 2 open seats on the board. Joining us for a conversation today, we have Susan Emery. Susan, welcome to Community Chat.
Thank you so much for having me, Kevin. This is going to be great.
I can't wait. It will be a good conversation. And just so you know, I never assume that everybody knows who a candidate is. And you never know who might have just moved into town or somebody who might have just registered to vote. For those who are new to town government or don't know you as well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Susan Ferreira Emery. I have been an Abington resident. I grew up a little bit in Abington, although that's kind of a loose term, grown up. I don't consider myself grown up just yet. I lived in Abington, raised my son here. I am a wife, a mother, a businesswoman, a grandmother. I love the town and love all that it has to offer.
Now, are you currently a member of any other board? Have you ever served on a board or a committee, whether it's being elected or appointed?
I have done many things, but I am currently on the Board of Health, which has been very busy and active for the past few years.
Okay. So why are you, what makes you say at this juncture, I want to run for the Board of Selectmen? What is the appeal of running for the Board of Selectmen?
Thank you for that very good question. So I ran for the Board of Health because I saw a need for straightening things out and getting through the muck of some little things, temporary food permits and such. But like oftentimes happens, you start something for one reason and you find that you have a whole other reason right before you. And I started to get involved in the emergency management part of things. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know this, but I am your public information officer. So if an emergency were to happen right now, and we would have to do an emergency call down, the first call is the chief of police, and the second call would be me, your public information officer. And then we have to do these in practices. We also have to take courses, National Incident Management Systems, and I've successfully passed those. And different things that you are the help before the help arrives, what to do before the medical people come, making tourniquets, things of that nature, how to handle massive amounts of giving out of water and such, emergency dispensary sites. So that's been my focus. It started out being for the food people, but it ended up being this. And I see moving forward that we have a new town manager. We're soon going to have a new chief of police. And I would like to help bridge that for the next steps in the town of Abington.
What would you say have been some of your achievements serving on the Board of Health, and how do you feel that will help you as a member of the Board of Selectmen if you're elected?
Another good question. Actually, moving forward, we are going to need some of these skills, some of these contacts, some of these things that I've developed as on the Board of Health. We had to get involved with Department of Public Health quite often. We've had to get involved with tobacco entities quite often. The tobacco thing has really kind of subsided since Governor Baker virtually banned vaping in September, which was kind of an unexpected thing that happened. But prior to that, we were up against some pretty tough lobbyists in the vaping world, and those lawyers were very aggressive, and we had to stand our ground. And I learned that I was a little bit stronger than I thought I was.
So I would ask you, looking at here we are, right around this time of year, because of COVID-19, a lot of things have changed. We are living in unprecedented times. Unprecedented is the word I think that has been universally used, because none of us expected our lives to stop and change so drastically as of the middle of March. Right around now is when we would normally be talking about budgets and getting ready for town meeting, or town meeting would have already happened. Give me your thoughts on the town for fiscal 2020, the remainder of fiscal 2020, and fiscal 2021, which is hopefully going to be decided come late June.
So I suspect we're going to run into some budget issues. I look around and I say, well, things are going to be different. Things are going to be more expensive for everybody. Things are going to be more expensive for the businesses. Things are going to be more expensive for the residents, and things are going to be more expensive for those that run town hall. We're all going to have to tighten our belts. We're all going to have to look for ways to save or maybe get grants, which was kind of a thought moving forward that I kind of had, was trying to investigate more grants and utilizing those avenues. I haven't gotten there yet as far as finding them, but that's where my direction would be to go.
Okay. Knowing that, things have changed because of COVID-19, knowing that a lot of restaurants are no longer fully functioning businesses, but a lot of them are having to resort to just doing strictly takeout or reducing their hours and their staff. I would think that the 0.75, that the meals tax that the town of Abington has, is going to cause some issues for having sufficient funding. I mean, it's not the only thing, but knowing that you get money from the state when it comes to Chapter 90 or Chapter 70, local aid, which is key. Give me your thoughts in regards to being able to put forth a balanced budget and at least get through the remainder of this fiscal year going into the next one.
Well, I do understand that the meals tax is something that can be upped by the towns. I've never been for that.
Okay.
We are very fortunate that we have some unbelievable food establishments that have been able to pivot. Excuse me, pardon me. I'd just like to take a little sip.
Yeah, if you want to re-answer the question, go ahead, and I can cut that out. So go.
I'm so sorry.
No. Re-answer the question.
I cough when I get nervous sometimes.
Okay. All right, so just wait, count to 5, and then re-answer the question, okay?
So I do understand that meals tax is an area of revenue for the town. The town can go up on the meals tax. It's never been anything that I've ever wanted to do. But we do have some excellent food service establishments in this town, and they have been able to successfully adapt and pivot into, I'm going to say that they really didn't think that they would have so much success in this environment. But it's because they're unique, and we always count on them. I've never really been for raising that meals tax, but I think that it's a possibility that we might have to look at in the years forward.
Okay. Abington, like any community, the thing that's important is economic development and being able to build. And the more that you're able to entice businesses and organizations to come into your community, that's more tax revenue that's generated. What's your understanding as to how the community is doing when it comes to water and sewer and its availability?
So my understanding was a couple of years ago that we had a moratorium. Now it's been lifted. I haven't heard anything about them reenacting that moratorium. I do see an awful lot of building going on. It's all residential. I would like to see more commercial building, to tell you the truth. I think that it's jobs I think it's better. There's a certain formula to everything that's perfection. And I think that we're a little heavy on the resident, a little light on the commercial. And I think that would be a little bit more successful for everybody.
Okay. Knowing that Abington has a stake in the former Naval Air Station, sharing it with Rockland and Weymouth, knowing that it hasn't gone well, that you've had a change in developers once again, if you were on the Board of Selectmen, if the board had anything to say, or you could have conversations with the planning board and the ZBA, what is your hope for Abington's parcel of land in the Naval Air Station?
It's been a source of just stagnation for so long. To be honest, my thoughts about it have been kind of stagnant too. I just don't see any movement anywhere. And where we're the smallest of the three, we have the least amount of pull there. The only solution, because I'm a solution-based kind of person, that I would say would be to reach out to the other towns and say, hey, can we just get this thing going? That would be my only solution for that. We really do have to pull together. We have the smallest pie.
Okay. Again, going back to budgets and budgeting, town has a new town manager.
Yes.
Knowing that because of what's happening with COVID-19, there'll be less monies. What are your concerns in regards to having to see departments take budget cuts? And how do you feel in regards to any capital projects that may be in the works at this particular time?
I don't see any capital projects that would be suffering, but maybe that's something I don't know. I do admit that I don't know everything, but the departments, I think that they are going to have to, they were always encouraged to rein in their spending anyway, as everybody is. But I think the departments are going to have to cut. I think the departments, I have confidence that they will be able to, just like the restaurants and just like every household in Abington, they will be able to adapt. They will have to pivot. They will be able to function with a little bit less. And hopefully we can bring it on back as soon as possible.
One of the things, I know that there's an ongoing conversation to do a feasibility study to replace the fire station. The fire headquarters located on 18. We know that the Abington has the two, as the headquarters, and then down the street you have the second fire station. What are your thoughts in regards to moving forward with the feasibility study of building maybe a new fire station?
I've always wanted the firemen to have the new fire station. Chief Nuttall did a presentation, and I happened to be there, and I was kind of shocked and appalled that there's not separate quarters for the women. They don't have their own bathroom, their own shower, their own dressing quarters. I wouldn't like that. If I went to work and I wasn't, I had to, go in the shower with the guys, I would have a bird. I just think that's kind of a basic thing. So I'm fully support that. How to fund it, that's another story.
Okay. Issues. What do you feel are the main issues? There's 5 candidates. I'm sure that each candidate will have its own set of issues that they feel that they'd like to tackle if they are a member of the next Board of Selectmen. What do you feel are some of the important issues that need to be tackled in Abington?
I'm an emergency prep gal. I would like to see the senior center have a generator. I would like to see some emergency backup things. If we had Levitt Terrace lose power, what would happen? I'd like to see those. I'd like to see our senior housing have emergency backup power. I really think that that's kind of necessary. Storms are getting stronger. People need things. It's just that would be my focus.
Okay. Any other issues that come to mind?
I think that we overall live in a pretty safe community, but safety is also a concern of mine. Um, I I like to think that we are well protected. Maybe I'm delusional that way, but I just like to think that we are pretty safe. So I think we got it going on pretty much, but we could do a little bit better.
Okay. Anything I haven't asked you about as a candidate, but it feels kind of important to take a few minutes to talk about an item or an issue in regards to your candidacy for the Board of Selectmen?
I would kind of like to see something for the youth. I just feel like there's a bit of a divide between somebody of my generation and somebody. I would really like to see some programs or some ways to get the youth a little bit more involved in town hall and vice versa. I think that would be a partnership that would be magical.
Okay. Is enough done for the older residents in the community for the senior population? And is there
No,
enough being done for in regards to education?
I don't believe that there's enough being done for the seniors. I think it could be better. I think everybody does the best that they can, but I think it could be better. I would love to see a little bit more communication for the seniors. As far as the students and the educational department, that's always been an area that I haven't excelled at. I don't have children in the school system. I don't have grandchildren in this school system. My family lives in Avon, but it always seems to me that whenever there's an issue with the school, that it's always well represented, and I kind of stay in my own lane when it comes to things like that. If I don't know, I don't say anything. So that's been my stance on that. It's not that I don't care, I do. Um, but it just seems like there's a lot of people that really know what they're doing there.
Okay. Anything you want to say as we wrap up this segment?
I The only thing that I'd like to say is I'm a person that I think that I've developed really good instincts. I'm not a politician. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm unenrolled. So I just really want to move the ball forward. I use my instincts in a positive way, and it's not something that you can do. I wouldn't want to bore you with each and every example of how my instincts have benefited the town, but I can tell you that it's been quite a bit of things.
Okay. And if
I
folks
have a
wanted to,
Facebook
if
page.
folks, go ahead, say that again.
I was going to say I have a Facebook page in which I detail and list a lot of these things a little bit more concisely than I do now.
Okay. And how can they find that Facebook page? Is it better just searching it? Is it Susan Emery for
It's
Selectmen? What is it?
Susan Ferreira Emery for Abington Board of Health. It's long, but once you get there, it's totally worth it.
Okay. Susan, thank you very much for your time and chatting with us here at Community Chat.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Have a great night.
You as well. And thank you for tuning in. Again, our hope here is that we're able to speak with all the candidates, bring those candidates to you so you are better informed as you go to the polls come, I believe it's June 23rd. It's right around the corner. So this is the idea of this is to better inform, keep you better informed about the folks that you're going to vote for to help lead the town forward for the next few years. I'm Kevin Tachi. Until the next time, you've been watching Community Chat.